And then this one, I know we've got some people on Twitter saying they want some reaction from our Caps fans over here. So I will ask for a reaction on this one. The Washington Capitals and LA Kings have pulled off a 1-for-1 hockey trade for Pierre-Luc Dubois and Darcy Kemper. I am fascinated by this move, and I'm really excited to hear your guys' reaction to this. Take the floor.
Yeah, I mean, look, am I super psyched that we're getting PLD? Not really. Am I super heartbroken that we're losing Darcy Kemper? Also not really. Do I still, for some reason, have like a lot to say and a really strong opinion about this? Kind of, and I'm not really sure why. But I do want to just do my due diligence. God damn it. Um, and tell all the like silly little Caps fans on Twitter who love like freaking out about dumb shit that it's gonna be okay and that this really is not that crazy of a thing. I know people are panicking, like, wow, we just sick. We just gave away our starting goalie to just have like the worst contract in the NHL. And it's like, yeah, maybe that's how this ends up. But there's also, I think there's a huge like risk reward thing here, and we're just hoping that this pans out for us. Also, I don't know. I looked at PLD's like stats. It's not that bad, you guys. Like it's really not as
Come on.
bad. Like there's people commenting being like, this might be one of the worst like biggest busts of
Well,
all time. And I'm
here
like, I don't know about that, dude. Like he's had a few really fucking good seasons. Like,
Here we go.
the good news is that it's still not the worst trade that this franchise
yes,
has ever
right.
made yet. Yet.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
we're gonna let
Yep.
this one play out. But yeah, I was a little bit less than thrilled when I saw this. And you know, Mac, I'm gonna agree with you. Like the numbers and like I think he just had a bad year in LA.
Yeah.
I just don't think it worked
Huh.
well.
It's not his first bad year either. I'll
It's
fully
not,
acknowledge
and I
that.
Yeah.
mean, don't get me wrong, he was playing his best hockey in probably the worst team he's ever been on in Columbus, which is a very weird way to look at that.
He had one really good year with the Jets.
Yeah,
I think he had like 28 goals or something like that and like
right.
45 or 50 points. Like
Here's my
it's
thing.
in there somewhere.
You know what sucks is you guys remember Dennis from the SpongeBob movie, the big
Yeah.
cowboy guy with like the
Yeah.
giant boot with the spikes on it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one who's like hired to kill SpongeBob for some reason or whatever, because that's the plot that belongs in a kid's movie. Uh, that boot is what's kicking me in the balls, and it just says 8.5 million per year for the
I
next
know.
6 years. So
I mean, yeah.
that's where I'm like, just
Yeah.
stick it in me and let's just get it done. So I'm a little
Right.
bit
Right.
less thrilled about that. I understand why this move was made. This move was made largely due to the fact that the Caps goalie pipeline right now is a little backed up. And it's probably time to give Hunter Shepard a shot at being a consistent full-time number 2 NHL
Or
goalie.
Clay Stevenson.
Either one.
He's younger and
Yeah.
arguably maybe even a higher touted prospect. Or the Caps might do the classic thing they always do and go out and get a journeyman. Like,
Right.
I don't know who, but I wouldn't be shocked if they did that either, which is fine. But um last thing I'll say about it, I do think there is a really like high ceiling for the potential of this trade. Like I do see I mean, look what we did with Dylan Strom.
That's true.
It could be one of those things where we
Milano too.
accidentally, yeah, I mean, I get it. That's not going to be like a fleece or a steal or a bargain, no matter how good he gets, because we're still paying him a lot. But I do think that there's a chance that like, I don't know, maybe he just needs like a really young coach. That's what we got. So
The way I kind of spun this, and I had a couple of my like Caps fans that are my friends were like, "Oh, what the hell? What are we doing? Like, why would we trade for this guy?" And my reaction was, "Look, the Caps have goalies, the Kings need a goalie.
mhm.
The Kings have centers, the Caps need a center."
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it just kind of worked out, and they were like, "Let's go ahead and do this now before Dubois is able to walk for literally nothing for the Kings, and the Caps don't get a better offer."
Yep. Also, Pierre-Luc Dubois is 20. He turns 26 in like 5 days. He's 25 years old right now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't think we necessarily need to like write him off immediately and be like he's gonna be horrible for his entire career. Maybe he just hasn't found a home yet, you know?
I agree
Darcy
with you.
Kemper's 34. Like, it's not, again, I'm not worried about losing DK at all. That's fine.
Not DraftKings or don't know, but Darcy Kemper. Yeah.
Yes.
My thing is like, yeah, I'm a little bit more cautious when it comes to what Dubois' ceiling would be. But yeah, for, a 34 for a 26, and in terms of what the potential upside for growth is here,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's the right
Yeah.
call. It's just, it's high risk is the
Yeah.
best way to put it, in my opinion, which unfortunately is something the Capitals have done a lot of in the past. And
Yep.
I would say about 9 times out of 10, it doesn't work out. But like you mentioned in the past, Dylan Strome, Nick Obey-Kubel, Sonny Milano, Anthony Mantha
Yep.
for a little
Yeah.
bit,
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see.
Mike Ribeiro. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, hot topic.
Yeah.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how fans cope with a bad trade. That's it. You find all the optimistic, and come November, I can't wait to hear the review.
One last thing. LA Kings, you basically traded Gabe Velarde, a second round pick. Who else?
It's like Iafallo.
Yep. And like
Um,
one other guy for Darcy
can't-
Kemper. So enjoy that.
Yeah.
Welcome home, DK.
All right, Harry, let it rip.
Horrible move. You're going to regret this. November is going to be fun. I can't wait for the season to start. We're not
So-
even done this season.
So on like November 24th, like the day after Thanksgiving, when he puts up like 2-2 on the Penguins, what are we getting?
Well, it'll probably be his first 4 points of the season. So, he'll come out to play there. But
I feel so
If-
bad saying this, but like I was texting a close personal friend of this podcast that this guy was my cardio king all year this year. And Morgan Miller was like, "Oh my God, you have no idea." But
I was going to say there's 1000% receipts on this season's episodes where we've trashed this guy.
Hold on. One last thing that I'm just thinking about, just for a quick sec.
Uh-huh.
What the fuck are the Kings doing? They traded for this guy, immediately signed him to like the most ridiculous deal of all time. Not of all time. There's actually a lot more crazy ones, but it's a pretty ridiculous deal and unprecedented. Like, I know that happened a while ago, but like, what in the world did they sign him to that deal for?
I think Rob Blake has to get some serious heat for this one. Like, don't get me wrong, he's done some good things for that team, but this is one where
That's just a
the
crazy
dumbest
thing to
part
do.
about this deal is the fact that he signed for 8 years at 8.5.
Yeah, why did they trade for like an unproven, like teeter-totter guy and just immediately sign him to that contract? It's actually insane.